And a good day for Jeeno Thitikul as she has the angle here, Angela.
Yes, proper angle, 71 yards.
And a good leave. Pro that's been out here for a long enough period of time, you just want to get out of Dodge if you can. And yesterday was one of those where, I'm guessing, asked Jeeno what she thought at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. She thought it's on next week.
I think Cassie Porter's bug's gone over here to greet Jeeno.
This putt's going to be quick also. This whole location's kind of in the low spot back here, moving right to left.
Not to be.
Putter hasn't worked for her so far this year. It's let her down, in fact, outside the top 100 in both stats as Jeeno unloads on the drive at 5. But not enough.
Hard fairway for these players to hit.
Does it hit up here and circle back? Okay, so my question is, where's that first ball that was in the bunker? Where was it originally?
Second ball.
When you say second ball, this one?
The first ball was here.
Yep.
The second ball hit and rolled back here.
Okay, so that ball, do you know where that ball is?
Oh, so not only are they next to each other, but one ball caused the other ball to move between these two tee balls with Shinholt and Thitikul in the bunker here at 5.
Yeah, but that's my question. That makes more sense. So if the one here closest to, you're the second. To the right. Right. So was that ball where the first ball was?
The last shot, the first ball.
Yeah, the last shot is the catch. Did it move?
It came in. It rolled up. It hit here and rolled back.
It hit, came up, and rolled that one. The second one. So the first one was already there. The second one that went this way. So it hit it and went it back.
It's like a scene out of Judge Judy.
It hit your ball back towards the tee. I was gonna say.
So that's what I'm trying. That's what my.
They just said, "I'm going." Excuse me, I'm going. She's got 155 to the hole. She said, "I'm going to hit my ball and get out of the way."
I'm guessing probably can't quite cover that front edge of the green from where she is, so maybe hers was a touch more straightforward of a decision anyway. Pick up sticks.
Put it where hers was.
How about that, though? When is it legal to...
You're trying your best to give the lie to Jeeno that she should have had or would have had.
That all seems pretty instinctive to me.
I've always found it so interesting, like trying to recreate the lie, but it wasn't perfectly grooved from a rake beforehand, but you're not going to have her put it in a divot in the bunker either. It's just the rules of golf, man. The rules of golf. There'll be a test later.
Well, we'll all get that one right. Maybe. This was 152. They were both at 152.
Funny that. Sounded like it clipped something on the way up. Yeah, sure did.
So everybody out of the bunkers, leaving themselves in some rough spots here at 5. Jeeno having a good go of it, though, at 2 under par. Good round of golf today that includes 2 birdies without a bogey as well. So how about both Thitikul and Ruffles without a bogey? And you heard the second contact. After the contact with the golf ball, what did you see here from the swing?
I think it was just a bit high on the ball, to be honest with you, a little thin. Simply put. Third shot for Thitikul. Cover that. And then some. For her to find it. Means that conditions must have changed a touch.
Allison, I'll tell you, I was standing right there, and Jeeno's ball missed carrying that bunker by maybe 3 yards.
There we go.
So, you know, I've always had a tough time. If you can't carry those bunkers, you feel like there's nowhere to hit it off of the tee. So I'm not surprised those bunkers always get in play here.
Good call. It's going to be a drop shot from Thitikul. Yeah, maybe the bunker's the lesser of 2 evils, which is hard to say given what we've seen from these 3.
It is the hardest fairway on the golf course to hit.
There we go. Speaks to Angela's point.
60% of the field this week, 65% of the field today. Just hung up there as we go back to the tee, and off of her first bogey of the day, Jeeno Thitikul trying to thread the needle here at this par 4. It's been 2 of the 18-hole co-leaders now back in a 3-way tie for the lead here nearing the completion of day number 3. Alongside Allison Whitaker and Emma Talley, I'm Will Haskett. Angela Stanford walking with this final group on the front, where Jeeno Thitikul has drawn a really rough shot and stance.
Yeah, this was really unlucky. That ball should have tumbled into the bunker. She would have preferred that.
Not sure it skirted that left one.
All right, Captain, we've been singing your praises here about longevity in women's professional golf. Allie has taken the over of my challenge of 530 starts in your career. But I said during the break to us in the booth, I think you can nail your number. How many LPGA starts?
Back down in the ACC.
185th ranked player in the world, 84th in CME points entering this week. You mentioned just kind of finding that footing out here after making her LPGA debut, or joined, I should say, in 2021. But you're right, just kind of has lived right around that 100 number, which is a tough living. It's a tough living without, you know, a big finish or a big win. You don't have to worry about that if you're Jeeno after the year that she had last year with that run all the way to the CME Group Tour Championship.
Green to work with. It's actually pretty good from in there.
For par. We were having the conversation when we arrived this week. Best player in the game right now to have not won a major. It's unfair to say her. She's probably the answer because of how good she is and how much she's accomplished early, but it's not as if she's had 7 years of cracks at majors to break through. It's just based off of talent alone. Her atop the list.
Is in motion, O'Toole, so it's very heavily based in terms of its timing. This for par, good time to make a 4 from the sand of Jeeno. She didn't get the memo though. It's back-to-back bogeys after not having one before the 5th.
She can blame us. We picked her up. She was bogey free, 2 bogeys since. The camera curse is real. 3 to.
I think even par honestly was a great score by looking at the leaderboard.
100%. Back on the tee. I mean, even par is going to be a shot and a half better than the field average today of the 81 players that made the cut. And you even look at
Will it be 3 7-irons? Jeeno on the tee.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I wear the pants.
I put coat on the mound.
Oh,
and they
really?
put children.
They probably like it.
She'll be sharpening the blades of that sand wedge for a second consecutive hole.
Yeah.
As Jeeno, who's finished 4th and 12th in her 2 trips here to Carlton Woods, trying to rally late on a Saturday. Second straight hole in a greenside bunker. Jeeno almost holing that one for a birdie. She's going to stay even for the round and 2 over for the week. You're talking about there, going to go right or left, you got to choose one or the other. Just kind of right in that middle, just to the right of the head of Jeeno as you're looking at it.
I'm sure that there are many this week that have just thought, all right, I'm going to aim at that tiny strip, because it is that small. You know, it's kind of just in line if you look straight up from where Jeeno's golf ball is, about 10 paces wide. Been working on really trying to shallow out her downswing. Her coach Chris sometimes gets a touch steep on it from the top, and that'll work.
Yeah, that one.
Hysteria. Depends how close it got to that grass. Now Jeeno.
242 all the way back there.
Oh, good bounce. Now scoot a little bit more. That's right, plenty of green to work with. To shield the golfers as this one just crept into that little bunker here at 8 for Jeeno.
Don't keep the receipt for that one. That one's good. It's got birdie written all over it now.
Trying to get it back under par for the round after 2 birdies and 2 bogeys. Looks like it's gonna be a makeable one for her. Less than driver for Jeeno.
Yeah, I think that's a good play, actually. And she doesn't have to force it. She's been trying to change her shot shape.
Feature group of the day, final group off of 10T, hitting their final approach shots into the 9th.
Can Jeeno dial one in? Final hole. No, going to see her short game one more time. Blue Heron that calls this the 9th home. It's been along the water's edge today.
You know, Will, you said something earlier that this hole is only seen.
Legendary golf courses and finishes and having memories. You have to be somewhere a while for it to sort of develop that, as we watch Jeeno try and chip this one in for a birdie close. That one's going to come up a little bit light. But I think about what this golf course does offer. 15 is a beautiful, picturesque par 4, a challenging hole, but that visual from the tee, the water feature, what you can do there, the big swing that you can have. You get to 17, a par 3, you got that bank off of the right-hand side, hole-in-one sort of potential, a par 3 that's got a little bit of flavor and character.
She's
I'm
walking
not
for
carrying
2.
around another human.
And we may have to put her on a step count tomorrow. Starting to feel a little guilty as Thitikul's in. Well, it was a really good round going until those bogeys at 5 and 6, but still an under par 71. There are far more rounds over par today than there are under par, as Jeeno will begin the chase tomorrow, 10 shots back, as on the other side of the water, Heiran Yu did shoot 68. So 9 under par is in the house right now in